Checkpoint 1. The pectoantebrachialis originates in the manubrium, the most anterior part of the sternum, and inserts in the fascia of the ulna, as shown by these cuts here. The pectoralis major originates in the anterior sternum as well, and inserts in the humerus. It is a triangular flap. The pectoralis minor, under it, originates in the mid to posterior part of the sternum and inserts in the humerus. The Zephy humoralis originates in the xiphoid process, the most posterior part of the sternum, and inserts in the humerus, the armpit muscle. The latissimus dorsi originates in the mid-dorsal line from the 4th thoracic to the 6th lumbar vertebrae, and inserts in the humerus as well. The 4 pectoral muscles are used for adduction, which moves parts of the body towards the median plane of the body. And the latissimus dorsi is used in caudal depression, which lowers the back towards the tail. The Zephy humoralis and the pectoantebrachialis are not found in humans. The end.
Hi, my name is Michael Fan, and this is checkpoint 2, the abdominal muscle.
And do this. We believe in
Did you
go.
start it?
Yes, go.
Right, first we have the external oblique, which originates from the posterior ribs and the lumbodorsal fascia, which is an aponeurosis. An aponeurosis is a muscle-to-muscle connective tissue, and for the external oblique, it extends and runs towards the stomach of the cat and inserts into the linea alba, which is this white line of muscle, which is also aponeurosis. Right, so second, we have right underneath the external oblique, the internal oblique, which is right here, is this broad shooting muscle, and it's located right underneath the external oblique, like I said before, and is 90 degrees towards or compared to the external oblique. And if you cut really carefully, you can see that right underneath the internal oblique is the transverse abdominis, which also runs the same direction as the external oblique. Finally, we have the rectus abdominis. The rectus abdominis. Oh my. The rectus abdominis, and you can see these 2 broad sheets of muscle, and it's going to be on both sides of the linea alba, and it originates from the pubis, as you can see here, and inserts into the posterior ribs and sternum, and it's right underneath this broad sheet of muscle, as you can see right here. Alright, and you have the external oblique, internal oblique, and transverse abdominis working on compressing the abdominal wall of the cat, and then you have the rectus abdominis, which is right underneath here, working on section of the trunk for the cat. And that's checkpoint 2. Well,
So, to begin the muscles of the neck, we have the sternomastoid. It originates on the manubrium of the sternum, and it inserts on the mastoid process. The sternomastoid rotates the head, or depresses the head. The next muscle of the neck is the sternohyoid, and it's this pair here. The sternohyoid originates on the manubrium and inserts on the hyoid bone. It acts to depress the hyoid bone and depress the larynx. Laterally of that, we have the sternothyroid. The sternothyroid originates on the first rib cartilage, and it inserts on the thyroid cartilage. The sternothyroid acts to pull the larynx caudally, or towards the tail. Next, we have the mylohyoid. The mylohyoid originates on the mandible, and it inserts upon the mid-ventral race. And it acts to elevate the floor of the mouth, which allows it to move food around, and so the cat can eat. After that, we have the digastric, which originates on the mastoid process of the skull, and it runs and inserts on the mandible. It acts to depress the mandible, and this helps the cat to chew. Lastly, we have this muscle here, and that is the masseter. The masseter originates on the zygomatic arch and it inserts on the mandible, and it works to elevate the mandible. That ends checkpoint 3. Hi, I'm Matt Schmidt, and today we'll be examining the inner organs of the cat. To begin, we have the liver. In between the lobes of the liver, we have the gallbladder, this little sac. Then we have the stomach, we have the spleen, we have the pancreas, we have the small intestine, we have the large intestine, we have the kidney, we have the ovaries, and the oviduct.
The chest cavity.
Alright, so here we have the heart of the cat, which looks like this huge prune here. And next we have the lungs. We have 7 little lobes of lungs. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And finally we have our aorta, which is coming out of the heart right here. As you can see, this vein right here.
There's like certain players that like that you know on baseball like after the.
Alright, so here we have 2 cortexes of the brain. As you can see, the right one is going to be inserted into the brain right about now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the right hemisphere. And now there's the left hemisphere. And right underneath this is the medulla oblongata. And you can see the tree of life right there. You see a bunch of white strands coming out. That's the tree of life. And there we have it. That is our brain.